Self-determination, like you determine your will, it's also known as, so that's positive freedom. So individual can determine. So liberalism is about individual self-determination. Individual self-determination. On the other hand, nationalism is about national self-determination, and socialism is about human self-determination. Okay, and this self-determination is also known as autonomy, what Kant talked about, and autonomy. So you are your own lord in a sense. So this is, in a way, it's exactly the opposite of what traditional religions, especially the Abrahamic religions, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, emphasize, which is the priority of worshiping God. So in a sense, we can say that liberalism, socialism, nationalism, as ideologies, we are not talking about their real manifestation at the moment, just talking about them as prototypes. Liberalism, they have three different conceptions of self. So self as individual, here self as nation, and here, socialism, self as human being, as a type, and nationalism as self as nation as a whole. So they have different conceptions of self, and moreover, basically, so self-determination on all three cases, they're seeking self-determination. But the self is different. In this case, liberalism is individual. In the case of socialism, it's human being as species. And in the case of nationalism, it is self as a nation and self-determination. So all three are seeking self-determination, but the conception of self is different. All three are seeking autonomy, but in the case of liberalism, autonomy is for the individual. In the case of socialism, autonomy is for the human being as species. And in the case of nationalism, the autonomy is for the nation. So if we talk in religious terms, if autonomy is the opposite of worship, so in a sense, in liberalism, human beings, an individual worships himself or herself. In the case of socialism, individuals worship humanity as a whole. So Tolstoy, if you read not Tolstoy, Trotsky, he said that, I mean, a lot of these communists, they actually worship human being as species, and they were willing to sacrifice them as individuals for the greater good of humanity. So in the case of socialism, you worship yourself, but your real self as human being. And in the case of nationalism, you worship your own nation. So that's the three